Anton Singleton, better known by his stage name, Big Lurch, is a former rapper who was active in the Bay Area of California between 1996 and 2002. Growing up in Dallas, Texas, Singleton displayed his skills as a writer from an early age, as he began writing poetry when he was only 7 years old. At the age of 17, after having moved to San Francisco, he decided he wanted to take his skills as a poet and transfer them over to a career as a rapper, and took the stage name Big Lurch, after the Addams family's towering butler of the same name. Being 6'7" himself, the name seemed very appropriate. In 1996, he co-founded the hip-hop group Cosmic Slop Shop, alongside Marvin Dooney Baby Salmon and Rick Rock, who previously worked as a producer on Tupac's final album, All Eyes on Me. Though the group saw minor success with the single Sinful, they released only one album, which performed poorly commercially, and the group split in 1998. On September 16, 2000, one day after his 24th birthday, Singleton was struck by a drunk driver and suffered a broken neck. He spent a long time in the hospital and was heavily medicated due to the constant pain he was in. Unfortunately, the pain continued after he returned home, and as he didn't have access to large amounts of legal pain medication, he turned to the illegal drug PCP for pain management. The drug obviously had an effect on his mind, with him developing a borderline obsession with the occult and horror films. This manifested itself in his writing, with him switching to a subgenre of hip-hop known as horrorcore, which centers around the occult, the supernatural, and psychological themes. Singleton's PCP use grew worse as time went on. He would get high and stay that way for weeks on end, sometimes neglecting to even eat. His mental state became worse, and he would become more and more delusional. This would come to a head in April of 2002. On April 10th, the Los Angeles police were called when Singleton was seen standing naked in the middle of the street, all covered in blood, staring at the sky and holding a human lung in his hand. When the police arrested him, they found that the lung he was holding had been partially eaten. The person who called the police was a friend of Singleton's, who had gone to his apartment to find a truly shocking scene. The body of Singleton's roommate, Tanisha Yasai, was laying on the ground. Her chest had been torn open, with both of her lungs removed. She had teeth marks on her face, and a 3-inch blade was embedded in her shoulder. After his arrest, the police performed a medical examination on Singleton's stomach and found human flesh that was not his own. Tanisha Yasai's boyfriend confirmed that he and Singleton had done PCP the day of the murder, which clearly caused the latter to go into a blind rage, leading to him brutally murdering Yasai and consuming her flesh. At his trial, Singleton pleaded insanity, with his defense saying that he was in a psychotic state due to his use of PCP on the night of the murder. However, the court ruled that his drug use and his claim of insanity were not satisfactory reasons for committing the murder. The district attorney concluded that drug use could not be used for an insanity plea. The judge agreed, and Singleton was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Tanisha Yasai's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit in 2003 against Singleton, his bodyguard, Stress Free Records, Death Row Records, and Yasai's boyfriend. The suit charged that the labels had provided Singleton with drugs to, quote, encourage him to act out in an extreme violent manner so as to make him more marketable as a gangster rap artist. Part of what makes a gangster rap artist marketable is the fact that the artist is a participant in violent activities, the lawsuit claimed. Death Row protested, saying that it had no connection to Singleton and was dropped from the lawsuit. Singleton's only studio album, It's All Bad, was released in 2004. 1 year after he was sentenced. Due to the controversy surrounding him, the album only received a limited release. As such, it is now considered quite rare and has been known to go for hundreds of dollars on eBay. By far the most famous, commercially successful, and, in all honesty, most talented person on this list, Robert Sylvester Kelly is one of the most successful R&B singer-songwriters in history, with a career that spanned 30 years. Born in Chicago in 1967, Robert began singing in his church choir when he was 8 years old, and it was here that his gift for singing first became apparent. It was also in his 8th year where he would experience tragedy for the first time in his life, when his then-girlfriend named Lulu fell into a river and drowned. It was also around this time that he apparently became the victim of sexual abuse at the hands of an unnamed female family member, which he claims went on until he was 14 years old. He also claims to have been abused by a male family friend, and never told anyone as he thought no one would believe him. The abuse apparently caused him to attempt to end his life when he was only 11. Things would improve for him in high school, however, as he won a talent show with the performance of Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky, and was encouraged by his music teacher to give up a possible career in basketball to pursue a career in music. His career began in 1989 when he formed the new jack swing group MGM and released the single Why You Wanna Play Me.
They say that you don't love me. They can tell by the way you bring it to the light. You wanna drive in my Mercedes and wear my gold chains round your neck. Well, I'm simply not having it.
After signing with the independent label, Tab Dash Records, the group appeared on the televised talent show, Big Break, which brought Kelly to national attention and also led to him winning the $100,000 grand prize. However, despite winning the contest, the group split up not long after. Kelly would then start another group called Public Announcement, and with them would release one album, Born into the 90s. While the album itself was not a big hit, failing to break the Billboard Top 40, it did produce the successful single, She's Got That Vibe. The interesting thing about this song